Hello and welcome back. In today's video, we will have a look at styling Next.js applications. Creating beautiful web applications is critical for grabbing a visitor's attention and for keeping them on the website. So luckily for us, Next.js offers several options for styling our applications. And in this video, we will cover the most important aspects of styling. So at the moment, I've got a new Next.js project set up. And if we start up the dev server, we can see our Next.js application running with the demo application. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to clean up this project folder by deleting page.modules.css. In globals.css, I'm going to delete everything in this file and save it. And in our page.js file, I'm going to remove these two imports. And we can delete everything within the main tags, like so. And I'm also going to remove these class names from the main tag. So after saving this, we now have a blank project to work with. So just to add some content to our page, let's add an h1 tag with hello world, and then below the h1 tag with some text like this is a paragraph. So after saving that, we will see this content showing up on the page. And just to keep things interesting, let's also add a button below our paragraph tag with some text like click me. And at the moment, these are using default styles. So the first topic I want to cover is global styles. We can use global styles to apply a style to all instances of an object in our project. As an example, let's say we want to change our background color, and that background color should reflect throughout our project, irrespective of which page we are on. So to add a global style like that, we can open up the globals.css file, and any styles applied in this file will affect the entire project. So we can add our global styles to the globals.css file. And let's say we want to change the background color for all pages in our project. We can do that by specifying the body tag, and within body, we will set the background color to some value. And in this example, I'll set the background color to #1E293B. And after saving this, we can see the background color change. However, our text is still very dark. So let's say we want to change the default text color throughout the project as well. And we can do that by specifying a property called color. And let's give color a value of #E2E8F0. And after saving this, we can see that all the text was changed in our project to this light grayish type of color. And let's also change the color of our h1 tag. And we can do that by specifying h1. And let's give it a color of #94A3B8. And this will now apply this color to all the h1 tags in our project. Let's actually test that out by creating another page in our project. So I'll create a new folder called About. Then within the About folder, I'll create a file called JSX. We will then export a default function called About Page. And this will return a main tag. And within main, let's also return an h1 tag with the text About Us. If we now visit the About page, we will see that the background is still that very dark color and the text was also changed. So global styles are perfect for setting up styles that affect the entire project, like fonts, the default text colors, background colors, etc. But what if we wanted to apply the style to a specific component only? As an example, let's copy the button from the home page to the About Us page. And let's say that we wanted to apply a style to the About Us button only, and all other buttons in the project should not be affected. What we can do in this case is introduce CSS modules. One benefit of CSS modules is that they are locally scoped, so they will only impact this specific component and no other component in our project. So to use CSS modules, we can create a new file at the same level as the component that we want to style. So in the example of the About Us page, we can create a new file called about.module.css, like so. But please note that the first part of this file name is really up to you, but the second part, the .module.css part, is a naming convention that React or Next.js understands. And within this file, we can now create all the styling classes that should only affect this component. So let's say we want to change the button. We can create a CSS class like .btn, followed by the styling like background color, and let's give it a value like hash 065F46. Let's also change the font color to white. Now, back in our component, we can import these styles at the top of the file by typing import styles from, and in the same directory, we will select about.module.css. We can now use this object to style any of the elements in this page, like the button, by providing the class name property, and within square brackets, we can type styles.btn. And after saving this, we can see the change reflected on the page. And this name is the same as the name that we provided in this file. We can, of course, add additional styling, like padding 2rem and 4rem, and you can see that change being applied to the button. And this way of styling the components is now locally scoped to only this component, and any other components listed within about will not be affected by this change. Let's also talk about inline styling. Let's remove this class name attribute, or actually, let's go back to our root page. I'm going to close all of these files for now, and let's go back to the home page of our site. And let's change the styling of this button. So we can provide inline styling by providing a property called style. And style takes in an object as input, and within this object, we can set all sorts of CSS properties. For instance, we can specify the background color like so, and we can also set a property for the text color, which will simply make white. And after saving this, we can see the change reflected on this page. And it is definitely possible to combine inline styles like this with styles from CSS modules. Let's also talk about fonts. At the moment, we are using the font that was created as part of the example Next.js application. And we can change the font by going to the layout.js file in the root of our project. And in this file, we can see from this example that inter was imported from next/font/Google. But I'm actually going to delete this for now so that I can explain how this works. Like so. And after deleting those imports, we are now using the default font for the browser, which doesn't look very attractive. So to change the font, we will import something from next/font/Google. Then within these curly braces, we can press Ctrl and Spacebar to see all the available fonts within this Google package. And I'm going to import the Poppins font. We now need to create a new instance of the class that we imported by typing const Poppins equals to Poppins, which we imported. This class takes in an object as input, and the first attribute that we need to set is subsets. And subsets takes in an array of subsets, and I will only specify one, and that is Latin. For the second property, we need to provide a list of weights, which is also an array. And for this demo, I will import 100, 300, 500, 700, and 900 as an example. And what we can do now is, in the return statement, on the body tag, we can add a class name property, and for the value, we will provide these curly braces with Poppins.className. And you will now see that the Poppins font has been applied to your project. Of course, if you wanted to, you could import all the available weights, so that will allow you to specify very thin fonts to extra bold fonts as well. And because we specified this font in the layout file, all nested routes will inherit this font as well. Please note that it is possible to apply a font to a specific component only. So as an example, let's open up our About page. And let's say that the h1 tag for this page should have a specific font. So again, I will import something from next/font/Google, and let's import a different font like Roboto. We then need to create a new instance of this class like so, and this takes in an object as input, and for this object we need to specify the subsets, which is an array, and I'll just give it one value like Latin. Then for the second property we need to specify all the weights, and I'll just do all the bold ones for now, like so. And if I try to save this, I do get an error message saying that weight 600 is not valid for Roboto. So this is another way of seeing which weights are available for your font. So I'll just remove 600, and that resolves that error. We can now apply this font to the h1 tag by specifying the class name property, and in curly braces, we can type roboto.classname. And let's now go to the About page to see the change. And if we inspect this element for About, we can see that indeed the Roboto font is being used. And the font of Poppins was overwritten with Roboto. Great. Let's go back to the home page and let's now have a look at using a framework called Tailwind CSS, which is an extremely popular framework for styling. I highly recommend that you go to the Tailwind CSS website to learn more about how to use this framework, but if I scroll down, you can see the styling in action. So basically how this works is Tailwind gives us a library of classes that we can use to style these components. And it's really simple to use. And the documentation does a really good job explaining how to use this framework. And once you get the hang of it, it's very hard to go back and use anything else. So let's talk about setting up Tailwind CSS in our project. And there's basically two ways to do this. The first way to set up this project is during our Next.js project setup. So as a quick example, if we set up a new Next.js application, and let's give it a name like Tailwind Demo. And you might remember that during installation, we were asked all of these questions. And one of these questions is actually asking us if we want to set up Tailwind in our project. And for this demo, I actually just said no, so that we could style it ourselves. But if we wanted to, we could just say yes, and then continue with the rest of this setup. And let's now cd into our project, like so, and I'll open it with my code editor. What you'll notice now is that we have all the project files like what we used to, but if we open up the app directory and the page.js file, we will now notice that this demo is using Tailwind CSS classes to style this page. But before we move on to playing with Tailwind, let's go back to our previous project and let's learn how we can set up Tailwind in an existing Next.js project. So the first thing we need to do is to stop our development server, and we can find these instructions on the Tailwind CSS documentation. So we can click on Get Started, then we can click on Framework Guides. Within Framework Guides, we can click on Next.js, and we can now simply follow these instructions. We can skip step 1, as this just creates a new Next.js project. And in step 2, we simply have to copy these commands. And then back in our project, we can paste in those commands and press enter. And after this installation is done, we will now see a tailwind.config file in our project. We can then follow step 3, which tells us to copy all of this. And we can then open up this Tailwind config file and then replace the contents of this file with the stuff that we just copied. And we can then save this file. Lastly, we need to copy these 3 lines to the globals.css file. So I'm actually going to move these styles down and then paste in those 3 lines at the top of this file. And that should be it. We can now go ahead and start up our development server again by running npm run dev. Let's refresh this page. And after refreshing this page, we can see that there are quite a few differences now. Everything seems to be tightly stacked on top of each other with no padding around the sides. And that is because Tailwind removes all default styling from your project. And that gives you full control over all the components and their styles in your project. So let's go back to our main page file and let's add some styling to the h1 tag. At the moment, this text is very small and we do want it to be way bigger. We can add styles by going to the h1 tag. We can then add the property class name, and within class name, we can start adding the Tailwind utility classes that we want. For instance, I want to make the text bigger, so I will type text dash, and now I'm getting this list of available values, and I'll select something like text 6XL, and let's save this. And after saving this, we can see the text size has changed. If you want to get that auto-completion behavior, you can install this extension in VS Code. It's called Tailwind CSS IntelliSense. Let's also add some styling on the paragraph tag, and let's create some spacing above and below the paragraph. We can add spacing by typing P for padding. We can then type Y, which is top and bottom, and we can then specify a size like 4 as an example. And after saving this, we can see the padding show up top and bottom. If we wanted to, we could also specify padding left and right of 4 as well. And that will create some padding on the left and right of this paragraph. On the button, we can actually go ahead and delete these inline styles. And instead, we'll provide the class name property, and let's change the background color using BG for background. We can then see all the colors showing up in this list. Let's say we want this green color, and let's also add some padding within this button of padding top and bottom of 4 and padding left and right of 4 as well. We could also have simplified this by simply typing P-4, and that will apply the padding all around. We can also add hover states. So let's say we want to change the color of this button when we hover over it. So all we have to do is type hover, colon, and then the background color of green 400 as an example. Now, if we hover over this button, we can see the color change as well. These Tailwind classes are also locally scoped, which means we will only affect the styling on this specific component and not any components nested within this. Right, I hope that this video was helpful and you now know how to style your Next.js applications. Going forward in this series, we will be using Tailwind CSS for all our styling, as it makes it super easy to create attractive designs with it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.